Hi guys. Okay, I feel like that was so cool with that little countdown. I didn't do anything special. It was just like built into this StreamYard platform. I've never done it before, so I thought I would give you guys a little something special for joining me today. Um, if this is your first time coming to one of my trainings for some wild reason, I just want to remind you that you can go to tinyurl.com/virtual PD20 and you can have access to a ton of trainings that we've recorded. You can also join our cohorts. Like here's the Google App Academy, a 7-week cohort. Just go to Google Classroom and type in this code to join. Yeah, there's plenty of opportunities available. Most of them are recorded with the exception of just a few. So for example, the one I did just before this, I forgot to click record. So that one's not recorded, but I did link my presentation. If you are joining me live, you can go ahead and put your first and last name into the chat if you're an MPS employee, and I will send you a PD cert probably today. If you are watching this at a later date, try to give me like 24 hours and I'll put a Google form up for you to be able to answer some questions to get credit and get a PD cert for that as well. So I'm going to dive in. Today you're here and we are here to learn about Google extensions and add-ons, and I'm going to try to explain what the heck all those words mean. So first things first, I want to talk about Google Apps. So Google App is like Google Drive, Google Meet, Google Docs, like anything you could type in for as a web address. I could type like drive.google.com. That takes me to Google Drive. Meet.google.com takes me to Google Meet. Those are apps. I can see the different apps by clicking on the apps waffle in the upper right-hand corner. These are all apps. So when you hear Google Apps, that's what we're talking about. Now when you hear, sorry, I had to sneeze and I didn't want to do it on the microphone so you guys would all think I was sick. I'm not sick. In the upper right-hand corner of my screen, you can see that I have all these little icons here. Those are called extensions. Now, extensions are things that travel with you throughout all of Google. So if you would like to add extensions, you need to open Google Chrome as your web browser, and then you need to log on to Google Chrome. So to do that, I'm already logged in. I can see my little picture right here. If you're not logged in, you'll have to click sign in at the top. You might have to click the 3 stacked dots or wherever it says sign in. It might have your initial. Click on that and you're going to want to sign in. Now I signed in with my personal account, but you're welcome to sign on with your work account, whatever works best for you. What's great about using extensions is you can actually sign in to any computer or any device. And if you sign on to Google Chrome using that same sign in, all of those extensions will travel with you. So I'll give you an example because this is something I get really used to. I watch a lot of YouTube, and sometimes not watch it, just like turn on music on YouTube or whatever else. And one of the extensions that I use is YouTube ad blocker. And it's something I've added like years ago, and I haven't thought about it since I added it. But because I have it, I don't ever see like commercials on YouTube. Now, if I turn YouTube on my phone, there's a ton of commercials because I'm using the YouTube app on my phone. So when I turn it on my phone, I'm like, what? This is broken. Why do I have all these ads? That's because I'm so used to the extension in Google Chrome. So just keep that in mind. Like these will travel with you if you log on to any browser from whatever computer that you're using, as long as you're logged on to Google Chrome. So I'm already logged in. That's how I'm able to add extensions. To add your own extensions, you have to go to the Chrome Web Store. So I'm on my work computer right now, so I can click on this little rainbow waffle in the upper left-hand corner, apps, and then choose Web Store. Or like honestly, the way I usually get there is by just typing in Chrome Web Store and I do a quick search. It's usually the first link, and I go to the Chrome Web Store, and now from here I can type in different extensions that I'm looking for. So here's one right off the bat. This is free, but they do have versions of paid accounts. Grammarly, it travels with you to any website you go to, and you can check your grammar and spelling, and well, it does it automatically for you, and it does give you like a little report to say basically how good you're doing. There's other extensions that I haven't added, but I will mention real quick here. Share to Classroom is one. So if you're using Google Classroom with your students and like maybe you want to make sure they're all on the same page, if you add this extension, just by clicking it, it'll quickly send the link to your classroom, and it just makes life a little bit easier. But now I want to highlight some of the ones that I do have. Actually, I fibbed. First, let me show you one more thing. Um, Let me show you how to add one. So let's say like I'm doing this presentation and I'm afraid you guys are not noticing my cursor because it's so little. So I just typed in custom cursor and I found some options here. So I'm going to click add to Chrome and add extension. And now once I add something, did you notice on the web store it has this flag that says added? So I know I've added this one already. I just want to also some tips for like adding extensions. Keep in mind, you want to like look at the reviews too. Like this one, it's over 4.5 stars. It probably is good. It has over 6,000 installs. Ones like this are a little bit concerning to me. It only has like 3 stars and 14 installs. That's or 14 reviews. That's probably a problem. So I'm going to go back to, I don't even know what this is. I just thought I would add it. So let's say I wanted to add my cute little extension. Oh, this is a good thing too. I have a ton of extensions already. If I click on this little puzzle piece here, or if I click on these like 3 stacked dots and go to manage extensions, I'm just going to go here. Here's a list of all my extensions. You'll notice that some of them have this like blue thumbtack. That means that they're pinned. If I want to pin it, I can click on the pin to pin it. If I want to unpin it, I can just click on it again to unpin. So that goes for any of them. It's just like viewing it and unviewing it. You can always uninstall them too. What did I just add? Cute something cursors, right? Here it is, cute cursors. Okay, so now I have it up here. See my little cute cursors icon? I can click on cute cursors and now I can choose, I guess, which cursor I want. So I love watermelons. Let me choose that one. I have to pick the size. Oh, now that's large. That's cute. Doesn't stay. Don't mind you, this is just my example. I have no idea how this even works. Okay, I picked my size. Now how do I keep it? Oh, it is. Oh, look how cute that is. The giant watermelon. It's very easy to see. All right, so now I've got a cute cursor. Now I can take on the world. All right, let me turn it off though, because that's probably really going to get on my nerves. I'll disable it. I can even uninstall it. I can right click right on it and just remove it from Chrome. Because let's face it, it's super cute, but it's unnecessary, obviously. That's an example of how we can install an extension. Let's say that I found this option for cute cursors and I wanted to send it to somebody. I thought they would really love it. So I can copy this big URL and I can send it in an email, or I could shorten the URL. So I know I use tiny URL a lot, but another thing you can do is install. I have this bit.ly URL shortener. I can just click on that extension and it shortens it for me that fast. It shortened it, copied it. Now I can paste it or write it on my whiteboard and send the kids to it, whatever I need to do. That's another quick little extension. I brought up YouTube ad block because that's one I use all the time and don't realize I'm using it. Apparently it's called ad block for YouTube. I'm saying it wrong. So ad block for YouTube, I highly recommend. When I go to YouTube and I am watching a video, I don't have to sit through any commercials. Oh, look, here's Justin reading a book. As we approach the Ouija wall. So yeah, so I don't have to see any commercials, thank goodness. Another thing with YouTube, and I talk about this a lot, is this extension here. It's called Turn Off the Lights. So I use this one because there's been so many times that I've projected a video and there's been some bizarre suggestions on the side or weird comments underneath, and I just don't want to expose the kids to that. So I can click on this extension. Again, it's called Turn Off the Lights, and it makes all around the video black. So like the only focus is the video. I used to, before Turn Off the Lights, like it was invented, I used to tell people to go to viewpure.com and you could like paste the link there and block out your videos that way too. But this does the same thing and it's built right into Google Chrome. So again, it's called Turn Off the Lights. The next extension I want to talk about is one I'm assuming you've heard about and probably have installed because we use it all the time, but it's Screencastify. So I already have Screencastify installed, and basically all it allows you to do is create screen recordings. So you can say, I want to turn my webcam off. If you keep it on, it'll be like a little rectangle down here with your face in it. I can turn on webcam only if I wanted to. There's no need to just show my screen. I can record my desktop. I can enable drawing tools. I can easily click record. It's going to count down. And now I can start recording and blah, 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 blah. If I click back on that icon again, I can say I want to pause it. Maybe I need to take a sip of my drink. I actually really did take a sip of my drink. When I'm done, I can stop it. And now I've got this video. Ooh. Now I've got this great screen recording that's going to change people's lives. So I can even open it in Editor by clicking on that Open in Editor icon, or tab, I'm sorry. And it's going to open it in Screencastify Editor, and I'll show you a couple little options that we have there. And when you install Screencastify, make sure you sign in with your Google account, because then what's really great about it is in your Google Drive, it automatically generates a folder for you. So I have a folder in videos. It's called Screencastify Recordings, and I don't have to do anything special. They're just automatically uploaded. So it helps me stay a little bit more organized. Okay, this is taking an abnormally long amount of time, and I'm going to venture to guess it's because for some reason, every time I come here, I just have no internet or very slow internet. So something's happening. We'll get back to that, I suppose. But from here, I recorded this video. I could go to more options, and I could view it on my drive. I could change the name of it. I could make it so that anyone in my domain can view it, or I can make it public because the world probably wants to see this video. I could also publish it directly to YouTube or share it to my Google Classroom. All right, Editor's still not opening up for some reason. In Editor, we can trim things, we can add text. It's very basic editing tools, but sometimes it helps, especially if you're anything like me and it takes you like 20 seconds to get started, and then when you finish, 20 more seconds to stop it. So I'm going to trash this because I don't want it, and I've already got a lot of sample videos in there, and I'm going to keep going. So one of my favorite extensions that I use an insane amount is called Mote. And what I love about Mote is, it's M-O-T-E, is that instead of just commenting with text, you can give like recorded feedback. So let me give you an example. Let's say that this was someone's work, and like a student submitted this essay and I wanted to give them some feedback. I could highlight what I wanted to give them feedback on. And we already talked before about how you could, highlight whatever element you want to talk about, and then just click on that little text box. And I could say, you're doing a great job, or whatever else. So I can give feedback that way. Or you notice how I have this little icon. I can click on that M for Mote, and I can start recording. This description, oh, I'm not signed in. Let me click sign in. I'm not sure why I got signed out. So you're going to see me in action signing up for something I already have access to. There you go. So I'm signed in again. So I can click that M for Mote, and then I can say, I want you to go into a little bit more detail here, describe exactly what they're going to see, which tools, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to click done. And now what happens is it will give me this. So I'm going to comment with that. So then the person who's viewing it it's either, if they don't have Mote installed, it'll have a link here. They can click on the link and they can play this. Or if they do have it installed, they can simply press the play button for Mote. And then I can say, I want you to go into a little bit more detail here, describe exactly what they're going to see, which tools, blah, blah, blah. So that's Mote. As somebody who spends an insane amount of time looking at screens, I always prefer when there's like a video or a voice, or I need a little bit of a break. Even today, I'm sure you can probably tell I'm not my typical energetic self. I am having my first migraine in like a year, and it's like progressively getting worse, but I didn't want to cancel anything today because we are running out of time. It's August 13th, so I wanted to make sure I got as much content as I could out there, but I'm hoping that this weekend I can get a little bit of rest and a little less screen time. I feel like that's probably contributing to whatever's happening now. But So I just like that it kind of breaks it up. And I love being able to give feedback that way and receive feedback that way too. And something about just hearing somebody's voice, I feel like, especially in times like this, is a nice little touch as well. Um, oh, I also wanted to mention, I often use right here, do you see read aloud, a text-to-speech voice reader? It's another extension I use a ridiculous amount. So, and it's not just like read me, like I actually do struggle with like audiobooks. I like to read, but I can't do audiobooks because I feel like I just tune out. Something I use this for a ridiculous amount. First, I mean, let me just get this straight. I would 100% give this to students who needed, you know, a text to speech like voice reader. I think that's a great tool. For me, I use this a lot when I'm writing emails and stuff, or like, let's say I was working on this and I wanted to send it out to the district, but I wanted to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. Like I could highlight something and I could click this button.
Culturally responsive instruction recognizes the importance of including students' cultural.
And it reads it to me, but I do that just to, I do it just to make sure I'm not making mistakes when I'm like typing things. I don't want people to be like, this girl can't type. I can also change the settings. I can say, I want you to go much faster, lower the pitch, you're very annoying. And then maybe I'll lower the volume a little bit. Let's test that out. Oh, look at all these. I can change the language as well. I guess still saving my settings. All right. Well, you want me to change the speed?
Read aloud is a Chrome and Firefox extension that uses text-to-speech technology to convert web page text to audio.
Oh.
It works on
okay, that's enough. That's enough. Thank you. So you can see I changed the voice that fast. It's really just up to preference. Beth, this one is called. This one is called Read Aloud, a text-to-speech voice reader. If you actually go to the Chrome Web Store, there's like a ton available. You just got to pick the one that works best for you. This is one I settled on, probably because I like to change the speed of my voices for my own entertainment, but there are many available as well. This is one that I love that I am not 100% sure I have like a great example of what this could be used for, but I like to just see the process of things happening. So this one is called Draftback, Draftback. Did I spell that right? Draftback. So this is Draftback. And what this does is you can watch like a recording, like a watch. What am I saying? You can watch this whole doc being created. So it'll start from the very beginning. So I'm going to do when I click the extension. Oh, for some reason it's not working for me. So it starts from the very beginning. It starts with a blank document, and then it just looks like it's like in warp speed and it's filling it out. So you can see every single thing ever typed. Is it necessary? Probably not, because you can always go to version history and check it out from there. But I actually think it's a cool tool to teach kids like, hey, every single thing you type on the computer is saved somewhere, and Draftback is an example of that. I do want to talk about, there's a lot of new things coming to Google Meet, but there's also a ton of extensions to help you personalize the experience in Google Meet. So for example, let's check out some of the Meet extensions right now. Here's Meet Breakout Rooms. That's a newer one. I've never used it before. I like to set up my own breakout rooms so then I can be in every single room at the same time. Meet Attendance is one I know a lot of people were using, and that would allow you to just take attendance, and that's always being updated as well. Clay Codes, I think, is his name, like his little work name, and he creates all these really cool Google extensions. So Meet Attendance is one to quickly take attendance. These are updates that are already going to be coming. Tara, I see your question. Draftback works on anything a student typed, you typed, whoever is an editor of a document, they can see every single change ever made. So if they submitted something, you would probably be an editor on it since it was submitted via Google Classroom. So Google Meet Attendance, it takes a quick little list. It gives you a quick little list of your people attending your meet. This is an update that's already coming to Google Meet in, I think, September. They announced all of their updates, and there's so many cool tools coming, but this is an example of one. I know we have grid view now in Google Meet, but previously there was a grid view extension because people wanted to see everybody at the same time. Nod, see this little thumbs up right here? I think IT might have pushed it out to every single MPS user, but they actually, that's how you can react with like applause and thumbs up. So every single feature you're like, I wish existed, someone probably created a code for an extension to actually give you that feature. So keep that in mind. So those are just a few little extensions. Just if you are specific, like let's say I'm a science teacher, I actually encourage you to like just do a Google search, like science teacher Chrome extensions, and you can actually like it'll give you some suggestions and you'll probably go down like a black hole of exploring new tools. I want to jump into add-ons because I love everything. I use the word love probably too much. I want to talk about Google add-ons right now. So let me open a doc. I'll go back to my PD doc. So a Google add-on is something you can add on specifically to an app. So for example, I'm in a Google Doc right now. I can go to add-ons. Here's add-ons that I've already installed. Or I could go to get add-ons, and then I can find different add-ons to use. So here's an add-on for creating bibliographies. There's add-ons for turning docs into forms. There's a ton that already exist, and there's a ton that I already have added. So here's some of my add-ons, for example. Kaizena is great for giving feedback. You can highlight and record. Orange Slice, you can build a teacher rubric right built into Google Doc. Here's a simple word cloud generator. So this is what the word cloud would look like based on this document. Not that you would use that for anything academic, but hey, you never know. And let me see if I can add another one. So I'm actually going to go to add-ons, get add-ons, and I will type in here where I'm searching the apps, easy notification. I thought this was one, maybe it's not. I think I might be remembering this incorrectly. I had one where every single time there was a change made to a doc, it emailed it to you. Maybe that doesn't exist anymore. So let me not give you that example, and let me give you another example. All right, so here's the add-on store. We can go to get add-ons and build them out from there. We can also go to manage add-ons and delete things and stuff. Because it's a small group of you I see watching live, and I only have a few minutes left, I'm going to give you an advanced example. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, I won't know because I can't hear or see you. So the advanced example I'm going to give you is one I use religiously, and it's called Autocrat. Oh, I think it's thundering. It's called Autocrat, and I want to find a spreadsheet to use for my example. Actually, I'll just show you this. So I don't know if you've noticed, but whenever you take one of our online PD courses for the ed tech department, we usually within a week, I know some of these self-paced courses are saying like wait until the first week of September, but all of your PD certs, sometimes I send it the same day if I'm not crazy busy, but unfortunately I'm crazy busy every day. Usually within a week you do get your cert, but what we do is instead of typing your names into every single individual cert, I made like one generic, I'll show you, one generic certification. So here's like an example of a PD cert. So here it says attendee's first and last name. Notice how I put these symbols on either side of it, and then select the session the attendee completed. And so there's these things right here. So now every single time, I'm not the only presenter this summer, obviously. So the other presenters simply come to the form, This is the form, and they fill this out. So like, let's say I want to send, I see Beth is in here. I type Beth Benfer, what date it is, her email, check the session she did, who's the presenter, and the length. And then it automatically gets filled out for her and sent to her. And here's how I did it. So like, here's the spreadsheet of everyone's information that we've been typing in. See how all of these, their certificates are linked right here. So like, I can see digital guided reading. This is Cosmeta. And this is what her cert looks like. I can open it up that quickly. So if people aren't getting emails or something, we can always look them up. So there's no stress there as well. But the add-on that I use for this is called Autocrat. So I went to add-ons, I went to get add-ons, and I typed Autocrat in. Now I'm showing you the example of PD certs because this is something very relevant to me, but it doesn't need to just be PD certs. So another example would be maybe you had your students fill out a survey at the beginning of the year and you wanted to email them, oh, thank you so much. I loved learning that your favorite color was blank. And I'm really interested to hear more about your favorite band, which is blank. Like, you can customize this based on what you need and the different groups that you work with as well. So here's Autocrat right here. I'm going to open it up. I already have it set up to run because every single time one of the presenters fills that out, you guys get an email. It says it's from me, but it's really from whoever filled out the form. So here's my existing job. Let me show you how to set it up. I'm going to go to a new job. Then I can give it a name. So I'm going to say sample. Now I can pick a template. So this is the example of a cert that I already did. I'm going to click use. I know that I have the correct things on there because I just showed you it. I'm going to go to next. And now it asks me to map the different sections. So I know where the form asks for the first and last name. That's where I'll map it. See how I would map it to a column. So like on that certificate, see date, presenter. Here's date, presenter. I'm mapping it to those columns to make them match. When I've got it all mapped out, I can go to next. I can give it a sample name. So I would call it probably PD Cert August 2020 or something like that. I could say what folder I want to send it to. And then a merge condition, which just means like if the timestamp isn't empty. So this is the timestamp. So the minute someone fills out a form, that means it has to get sent. And then this is where, you know how you get the automated email. I would click yes, share the doc, and I want to send it as a PDF. And this is where I could have said send it from a generic address, but we had a lot of problems with spam, so they all came from my address. And then this is where up here, see where it says attendees email. I would do those two arrows again, and I would type attendees email. And then I could customize the message the person receives too, and they would also get it as an attachment. I think there's like one more step there. I'm not going to save this because, as you can see, this has been filled out many times. We already have an active job, but just so you know, that is an example of an add-on that we do actively use. This is Actually, I'll give you this as an example too. This is Google Slides. And if I go to add-ons, I can go to get add-ons. And again, there are a ton of things. Here's charts and diagrams, Nearpod. There's, oh, this is good music notation. There's a ton of add-ons that are already recommended to me, or just like I showed you before with the extension, you could simply do a simple Google search and say, I'm looking for Google Slides add-ons for math. And then I can go ahead and get some recommendations there as well. So don't be afraid to do your own research. I know that was kind of like extensions and add-ons in a nutshell, but hopefully you got a couple that you can use. And that brings me to my time. So thank you guys so much for being here today. And I will talk to all of you soon. I appreciate seeing you, and stay safe. I mean, it sounds like the thunder is getting very loud out there. So be safe, and I will see you in another training very soon. Please let me know if you need anything or if you wanted a list of any of the things that I showed you today. Thank you so much for watching.